Greetings YouTube, and welcome to the Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus 2 demo. Now, this is freely available for everyone to play on Steam currently, and well, while the music is going on in the background here, let me just say that the soundtrack is made by Guillaume David, one of my absolute favorite composers. You may remember him from games like, well, Ixion and also Warhammer 40k Mechanicus 1. Now, this is a game that I am going to be covering later on as well, so when it releases. But let's, instead of babbling, because this is gonna be a long form video, probably going to be around 1 to 2 hours, somewhere between there, because I'm going to complete the entire prologue in this one video, just so you're aware. And you probably see that from the video length as well. There's not really much to talk about in here, so let's just jump right into the game and the cutscenes, even though, I mean, this soundtrack, I could just sit here and listen to it, because it is so pleasant. But yeah, let's go in and have a check and look at the game. We're going to play on normal difficulties. I don't need the tutorials, but I can explain things. Actually, let's not skip the tutorials, because the tutorials are actually useful, and I can explain a couple of things to you. I am also in the Mechanicus 2 Discord, so I have noticed that some of the people who have been playing the game, they have had certain things that they haven't really figured out that has changed from the first Mechanicus. So that also means that I can give a little bit of an explanation of those things as they appear. This part of the soundtrack. This music is just so good. Maybe I'm weird. Well, I am weird, but I just love this music.
I can confirm the presence of Xenos structures.
Tech Inquisitor Roller, your objective is to explore and catalog any Xenos artifacts and report back to the Omnicide.
Such a shame to finally find what I have sought and not bring anything back.
Limit your activities to observation. Our Falls world is young. We would know what has been here before. Only then can this region be consecrated to the Omnisire and its bounties exploited.
Of course, Prime Hermeticon. My maniple will locate an entrance to the underground structure. Let us venture deeper. There is always so much under the surface for the taking.
I know there will be more talking, so that's why I'm being quiet. Topographical scans confirm structural entrance bearing 931.
A door left open for us. Perhaps seismic activity has opened it. Excavation Manipul Eta 7. Scout ahead. Secure the entrance.
So they are combining actual voice acting with tech lingua, so you could hear the end of what she said there was in tech lingua, which is the Adeptus Mechanicus language, binaric, command line deployed pattern, cautious/thorough.
These ruins belie the much larger structure beneath. There is much here I find familiar.
Archival memory scrape in progress. Confirmation null. Convergence 0.00. Emergent. Anomalous energy readings. Unknown origin.
Xenos, my hypothesis holds true. The day will not be wasted after all.
Mechanicus 2 is a turn-based tactical RPG, also known as a TRPG, in which you take control of a powerful leader supported by a group of combatants. To avoid defeat, you must ensure your leader's survival at all cost, even at the sacrifice of your other units. It is your turn. During your turn, you can select any of your units. This has been one of the points of confusion for many people, because in Mechanicus 1, the turn order was set. It no longer is in Mechanicus 2. It is set for the enemy. You can see the turn order over here, but we'll get to that. You can use Tab to cycle through your available units, or you can also just click them with the mouse. By using a movement action, a unit may freely move up to its movement limit during its turn. Each weapon action may be used only once per turn, but be careful. After using a weapon, the unit cannot move again that turn. Another point of confusion that I saw in the Discord. So these two things are fairly important to know if this is a game that you think you are interested in. Traits are passive effects, hidden over here. Well, not hidden, but shown over here. They sometimes require specific conditions in order to trigger, so do not forget to read their descriptions. During a skirmish, a unit may also be temporarily affected by positive or negative statuses, which will also appear here. Once you have finished using the unit you are playing, you can end your turn, which basically means ending that unit's turn, not the entire turn. So, we have here a battlefield. It is grid-based. You can't see the grid right now, but the moment I select a unit and I go to the move action, you will be able to see the grid. So we have 2 servitors, we have 1 Skitari Ranger, and of course we have Tech Priest Scaevola, who also happened to be a major part of the storyline of Mechanicus 1. As for the enemies, there are 3, there you see the grid, we have 3 Canoptech Scarab Swarms, and you can also see what range this unit has that it is able to move. So there's 3 of those. And there is 2 Necron Warriors, one of which is downed. You can right click to get details. So he has a Gauss Flayer that does 1 to 3 damage, with a 10% chance to inflict +1 damage, and also 10% chance per Dominion level added to that. A Dominion is the Necron side skill, whereas for the Adeptus Mechanicus we get... Here we go. Some units have special actions known as skills. Unlike weapon actions, skills can be used at any point during the unit's turn without restricting its movement. So what they need is... I cannot remember what this is called, the orange here. I think the Servitor has that, or is it the Skitari? cognition points. So yeah, you can also right-click and look at the Canoptech Scarab Swarm, but we have no information available on these. So the first thing I'll do is actually take this servitor. I'll use the move action and move him up here. He's a melee unit. You can see there's a little hand icon there in the middle bar beside the 2. So it's difficult for me because the tooltip disappears, but you see it says servo arm. It says 2 to 3 damage. Then it has a ring with 2, and then there's a hand icon, which means this is a melee attack. Let's move him there. Then let's use the servo arm and bash these Canoptech Scarab Swarm thingies. 3 damage, not bad. And end turn. Okay, so the other side got that one. So we can now go and look at the turn order here. So we can see that this is where we're at now. It's my turn. The next unit on their side to move is that Canoptech Scarab Swarm, followed by this one, which is going to regenerate. Then that one. No. Actually, I'm not... I only know, actually, it shows the... so we know this one is going to regenerate there, but we do not know currently whether or not it's the Scarab Swarm or the Necron Warrior that is here or there. Okay, the next unit I'm going to move is also this Servitor, and I'm going to just take him over there and take out this unit. Here we go. Also, in regards to the status effects, you can see that after suffering damage, you generate 1 cognition point when a servitor takes damage, whereas I can't show the other ones, but they all have their various different abilities or skills. Okay, so he was the next one, and he fired, and he did a lot of damage to the Skitarii Ranger. Now, Scaevola is a bit larger than the other ones. You can see here that these are grayed out. It's because I do not have any cognition points. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this Skitarii Ranger, and I'm going to move him somewhere. Like, some units can use cover to prevent themselves being targeted by the enemy. Be wary, however. Cover can potentially be destroyed by allied or enemy attacks. Like, I can shoot that thing there if I want to, and it gets wrecked. So I'm going to move him... I need to dismiss that. I'm going to move him there, so that Scaevola is able to move up through here. Because if I move him to... I could move him there as well, but that means he's inside of melee range of this unit, and thus he will not be able to use this attack. And I don't want that. So let's move him there. And let's shoot that. You can see I can shoot this thing. Let's shoot the Necron Warrior. Cognition points. Generated via unit traits. Cognition points are a resource unique to the Adeptus Mechanicus. Use them to empower your leader's movement, weapons and skills, or to activate your leader's canticle for a unit. You cannot have more than 10 cognition points stored. Canticles are special enhancements exclusive to Adeptus Mechanicus units, and each Mechanicus leader grants 1 unique canticle to the units under their command. This is also a bit different from Mechanicus 1, where you could have up to 3 canticles, and you picked them combat by combat. The word eludes me, but based on whenever you went into combat in Mechanicus 1, you could pick and choose what canticles you wanted for that specific combat. Now it's down to what leader you have. So, Scaevola has the Litany of the Ancient Matrix, which means that the next weapon attack this unit uses inflicts 1 more damage. Now, let's... Actually, I just moved, so I need to end my turn. Reanimating, and then that one was allowed to move first. Yeah, I definitely agree, Scaevola. I'm going to just move, like this one does 2 to 3 damage, and this one does 3 times 1 damage. And then there's this one, which applies weakened and immobilized to the target. But you also have this one that does 2 to 4 damage, 2 to 3 damage. Might actually be a good idea not to move her and instead use the Volkite Blaster, because I'm also going to be allowed to use the Macro Stubber. Let's do that. Let's... Yeah, that did 4 damage, and now this thing is burning, which means that it's probably going to take... I think, yeah, it's going to take 1 damage at the end of its turn. So if I don't kill it now, it's going to get 1 more turn. And there we go. As you can see, I'm not allowed to move Scaevola now because I used her action. So, new turn. Now it explains the timeline. I already did explain that, so I'm just gonna skip that. Player turns are marked with your faction icon. In your turn, you may activate 1 unit of your choice, provided it has not already acted this round. At the start of the skirmish, an enemy unit's place in the timeline is hidden. Now, however, I am allowed to see, because we are now in turn 2, because it is revealed when the first unit activates or when it is targeted by a weapon or skill. Use this information to prioritize threats and to avoid wasted damage. At the end of each round, the reinforcements step occurs. During this step, both you and the enemy have the opportunity to deploy any units held in reserve to the battlefield. These units are then placed into the timeline for the next round. Once this step is complete, a new round begins. So you get to place down reinforcements before a new turn ends, but we don't have any reinforcements in this specific round, so it's not really that relevant right now. Okay, so this guy is kinda damaged, and I don't want him to be damaged by this Necron warrior. I'm not sure if the timeline... I think the timeline goes from down here and upwards, which means that Scarab Swarm is the next in line. I would like to... Yeah, I'm gonna move this ranger there and shoot this warrior. And then end turn. Yeah, it's going from bottom to top. Now we did get a cognition point for free because the servitor was attacked. Now I'm going to use Scaevola. Now notice the orange squares here. I am allowed to move Scaevola using cognition points if I want to move her closer. So I'm going to move Scaevola using a cognition point to there. Then I'm going to use the Volkite Blaster. Nah, let's keep the cognition point. And gone it is. I sadly cannot target that one, it's too far away, so there is nothing else I can do. You can see this ring is the... I also like that she moves around. Making her dance here. Same with the melee attack. I could destroy the wall, but I'm not going to waste a cognition point on that, so end turn. Okay, this servitor, let's just attack. End turn. And then move this guy up here and get rid of this. Now, since that guy was reanimating, he's counted as dead. That's why we won the round.
That is the last of them.
Electromagnetic and radiation anomalies negative. Emergent. Partial exigency report from Servitor 997 Gamma. Location 18.9 meters below.
An emergency? What is the servitor's status? Report.
Communications interference. Request cannot be fulfilled.
Then we shall have to see it for ourselves. Servitor 997 Gamma. Satisfactory. Evidently was for where?
Not satisfactory. Well, I guess this is Mechanicus and not satisfactory. Duh. The The servitor requires attention before it is functional. Let's repair it. Assess the condition of the servitor and attempt any necessary repairs.
The servitor's logic circuits were burned out, and the gyrosextant misaligned. These have been corrected. Report on its status.
Servitor 997 Gamma functioning at a minimal capacity.
It will have to suffice.
So we assessed the condition of the servitor and we attempted repairs. And we managed to repair it and we recruited a servitor.
This one is damaged. Its machine code generator must be malfunctioning. Servitor, engage low Gothic speech mode.
Database Linguitectus disabled because of the compliance matrix being failure in fail state or deviant state. Servitor 997 Gamma auditory response mode initiated.
Good. I would scour this place for its secrets, but it is unwise to tarry. Survey our immediate surroundings and report.
Loading frustration. Frustration complete. Perfect. Core chamber detected beyond gateway.
The mechanics of fate have put a door in our path. Surely the Omnisire wills us to delve further.
I mean, logically that seems logical. You see a door. Obviously, the Omnisire requires you to remove the door and not turn around. So. Okay. The Xenos technology of the gateway is unresponsive. Decide how to proceed. So we can either go the subtle way by attempting to open the gate by finding and examining the locking mechanisms in the hope of operating it directly, or we can go the aggressive route, say that there's no time for the vagaries and hazards of Xenos technology and just use a pair of ammunition magazines as improvised explosives to blast the gateway open. Now, this obviously being a Necron tomb, I do think we're going to go down the subtle and quiet route.
A modulated current applied to the locking components should produce results.
Power spike detected.
And it opens. There is no obstacle that will not melt away before a sufficiently cunning application of knowledge.
I like that attitude. The door has been opened.
Excavation manipulator 7, and mostly intact. Servo skull, find us a way back to the surface.
Oh, now you want to go back to the surface, eh? Calculating optimal routes.
For an eternity, we slumbered. And as we slept, we dreamed of half-remembered lives and new forms of cold metal and hate, of shackles broken and gods humbled, of the empire that was ours and the galaxy that bowed to us. From her slumber, awoke Nefershah, our guard to the Pharaon Sankotep. Nefershah, she who was to decide the fate of Kivroth.
Memories. Biotransference. The cold of the great sleep. I have dreamed, but now I wake.
And this, of course, is one of the new things about Mechanicus 2, if you're unaware. We also get to play the Necrons this time. And I also love this voice actor.
The weight of eons lay on the tomb of
knew her slumber had been a long one, but there was no telling how long.
There is no time to wallow in our past. I am the hand of the Pharaon. I am the Vanguard to Sankotep. My duties are to the throne. Cryptek Kynox, attend to me.
But I was not there. Nefershah found herself faced with alien intruders. She regarded the creatures with as much mild curiosity as anger. They appeared partially biological and carried weapons of strange and inefficient design. They moved to attack, but Nefershah gave no quarter.
Only the ignorant would despoil the tomb of a Pharaon's Vanguard. For that ignorance, I am the punishment.
Indeed. You gotta love her voice. The first time a Necron unit is destroyed in a skirmish, its reanimation protocols activate. A round countdown timer, that would be this, will appear, and when it reaches 0, the unit returns to play. Of course, unless it is killed, shot, slapped during its reanimation protocol. Some skills like Arise allow you to accelerate the return of units undergoing reanimation protocols. Now, here is the Necron domination. Yeah, Dominion level. Now, the higher you get this, the more damage your units do. So, the Necrons play a little bit different than the Adeptus Mechanicus units do, as of course is expected, in the way that they do. They start out rather weak, but then as you gain Dominion, they become more and more powerful the higher this gets. Okay, so what we want to do with Nefershah is we want to move her up here, and then we're going to use Arise because, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 units available to us, and we can all reanimate them at once because instantly end the reanimation protocols count on all reanimated Necrons on the battlefield, so boom. The other skill she has is an Imperious Advance, which makes her run in a straight line, and then you get an attack. I'm not going to use that now. I'm going to leave her exactly where she is, so end turn. Her ability is, of course, common for all of the Necrons. She also has reanimation protocols, even though she is one of your leaders. Well, if that's how you wanna play it, then have this back. And this guy can move rather far, but not far enough. I would like to get up to this Qatari Ranger, but that is not a possibility. Let's go there. Yep, I did not trigger an attack of opportunity. Each time one of your Necron units inflicts damage, the Dominion gauge fills by the same number. So, if you do 5 damage, you get 5 Dominion. When the gauge is fully filled, a Dominion level is gained. That is the lower part of this. So you get these pips filled up. When you have the entire line filled up, then this line gets +1. When the gauge is fully filled, the Dominion level is gained, and the gauge resets, and each level enhances or unlocks certain weapons and skills, which is basically in line with what I told you guys earlier. I'm actually not too happy about that guy being killed. Now I've moved Nefershah, so I can't do anything with her. these guys have an atrociously bad range on their weapons, so then they also cannot walk very far, so I mean, I guess I'll just move him there. There's not much I can do with him, so he also has the number is Legion, or their number is Legion. When this unit is killed, it has a 20% chance to resurrect in your guard after the skirmish, with 50% HP and plus 5% chance per Dominion level. So here is the Dominion level thing. So if I had 1 here, it would be 25% chance. 2 would be 30% chance. You get the picture. This is relevant to when you're doing multiple missions in a row. Where you actually can, if he gets killed, then he goes back to your reinforcement pool. Same with this guy, there's not much I can do with him, so I'm going to move him there and end turn. And we do get some Canoptech scarabs at these holes. I'm not objecting to that. So this guy, now this skill is interesting, requires Dominion level 3. Kinda like that one. Inflict damage on the target equal to the number's remaining HP and also inflicts weakened on the target. It self-destructs the scarabs, but yeah. I'm gonna move that scarab up there and attack with the feeder mandibles. Doesn't do that much damage, but still, 3 damage is 3 damage. And it also means this guy can't shoot unless he moves out. So we're probably going to get an attack of opportunity as well. Now, I want to move Nefershah, to be honest. I don't know how... Nah, sadly I can't move her long enough. So, how about you? Yeah. Let's move this guy and... Ooh. 1 damage? Seriously? See? There we go. Once per round, a unit can make an attack of opportunity. Attacks of opportunity are triggered when a unit leaves the melee zone of an enemy. Now you can go down there and actually get rid of this annoying guy. Oh no. Can I move this guy? Yeah, I can. There we go. I mean, these scarabs doesn't really have a lot of hit points, to be honest, so... let's move Nefershah up here. Not much I can do with her currently, since this is only in a straight line, so I can go attack my own unit if I want to, but I'm not sure why I would do that. Then we can kill this guy. And new turn. So this is a more interesting part, because we're gonna move Nefershah here, and we're gonna run in with the Imperious Advance. Sadly, they are not standing one beside one another, otherwise I would be able to attack both of them. But there's the little additional, I get to attack one more time. Turn. And now this guy can, well, I don't think I even need to move it. Just attack and kill. There we go. Should read those little flavor texts down at the bottom, by the way. They're kind of amusing.
The tomb of Nefershah was extensive, and its observation protocols long dormant. Until they were fully activated, the Vanguard had to seek her cryptic advisor alone.
These unworthy trespassers must not be permitted to become troublesome. And still, Kynox is not present. My cryptech should be in attendance.
decide on an approach to finding cryptic Kynox. So we can either do it with haste, trying to locate Kynox as quickly as possible, heedless of any danger, or we can do it with caution, wary that she may have been awoken by the presence of danger in her tomb. Let's do caution with Nefershah as well. No consequences. Now deployment. So now we're being introduced to the deployment and also the reinforcement pool. At the beginning of each skirmish, you will need to deploy your units onto the battlefield. Place and move each unit with your left mouse button, but you can also remove a unit using the right mouse button. The number of units you can deploy is limited by your leader's capacity, which is shown here, 5, which can be increased through upgrades. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to show you the upgrades in the demo because it doesn't have that, but if you look around on the internet, there are some trailer, I think, and I think that Bulwark and Casino has released some images of what that looks like. It looks pretty cool. Sadly, I don't have it available, so I can't show it to you in the video. Now, Nefershah is standing here. However, I can drag her to any of these blue squares. I'm gonna drag her there, because I want her there. I could also put her over there. As for the flayed ones, those are the melee units, and the Necron warriors are the ranged units. So I'm gonna put a warrior here, and a warrior here, and a flayed one there, and a flayed one over here. Also, you move them up using your middle mouse button. We also have 2 units up here, one of which is reanimating. I think you can use... yeah, you can also use WASD to move around if you want to. All of these yellow squared marked boxes are destroyable, so they are like this barrier here. These might be the ones that move, since, you know, Necron tombs aren't exactly quite what you expect them to be. Yeah, deploy. And fight. Okay, so we have a Skitarii Vanguard here. We have an Engine Seer here, and we have 2 Servitors over there, and then there's this Skitarii Ranger over there. That guy is going to be annoying. Now, what I'm thinking is I'll use Nefershah first, and I'll move her there. Then we'll use the Imperious Advance and do this. Then we'll do the War Scythe and do that. Then we'll do the Arise to awaken this guy up here. This, you can see cooldowns here. 3 turns, 2 turns. And enter. The blue line, we'll get back to that. Okay, so we have the flayed one, and I think... yeah, I'm gonna take this one, because that means that guy might have difficulties moving out. And attack this guy. Who promptly died. What a pity. Now, I can't do anything with this guy now, because if I move him out, this guy is going to get an attack of opportunity, and this guy is going to go into reanimation mode. So that doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's use this flayed one, run him up there, and attack the servitor from that side. This guy can shoot. I don't think it'll do much relevant damage to this guy. The Engine Seer is of course the most dangerous unit on the battlefield, but I don't like having that guy standing beside my my Necron warrior. Yeah, let's shoot. Actually, let's move further. How far up can I move? Not very. I think the spot... let's move there and then shoot. 3 damage, good. Ooh, you come that way. Now that was a mistake on your behalf. I don't want to move that guy. Let's move this guy here, and we do 2 to 4 damage. Let's hope we kill him. Yeah. Got me is. This guy, let's move him there. Hopefully we're out of range of the Skitarii Ranger, and then shoot the engines here. Now, the blue line. Armor and defense. Some units have armor and defense, making them harder to kill. Each point of armor reduces incoming damage by 1. Defense regenerates each turn and absorbs incoming damage before it can reduce the unit's HP. Some weapons and skills can bypass these protections. That is also quite relevant to know. But in this case, the only thing that we managed to damage was the armor. So we took away 1 armor, and the engine seer still has 9 hit points. He'll get the armor back next turn. Okay, I'm just gonna leave him there then. Not too surprised by that. I can see no reason not to kill this guy. I can also see no reason not to attack the engines here. I think this thing actually is... bypasses armor. I think melee attacks usually bypasses armor. But I'm not sure. Did 1 damage? That guy is a bit problematic, so we'll move Nefershah up there and then do 3 damage. Now this guy can move there and another 2 damage. I think we can just... no, we have to move him, so let's move him there. This should be enough to kill him. Of course not, because the armor is still there. This guy we can move there. I don't want the Skitarii Ranger to be able to shoot. There we go. Bye-bye. Ow. That was unnecessary. Okay, let's see here. There's not much you can do. Let's move that guy over there. They usually attack the one that is closest, but there is some AI mechanism here where the developers have coded in some priority, so he might actually go for Nefershah regardless. I'm gonna move Nefershah there. Next turn we get the Arise, so we can reanimate that guy. Move that guy down here. This is the only unit left, so... move that guy there. And move that guy there. Now, the default speed these guys move at, I've increased that to twice the speed, because they move really slowly. Yeah, he did attack the closest one. Good. We can move that guy behind there. Spank. Yeah, good. I want to move that guy first. And I have a reason for that, because I want to shoot that. Not the Ranger. I'm sure you are all figuring out why I did that. Because now I get to move Nefershah here, and I get to do this. Which means I get to do this. And,
Cryptek, are you damaged?
Nothing that cannot be attended to later, Honored Vanguard.
Good. Attend upon me, Kynox. What has caused this interruption to the Great Sleep?
The tomb's observation routines have deteriorated over time. Their data is incomplete.
How long has it been?
More than a quarter turn of the galactic plane. Many stars will have bled and died since we last looked to the heavens of Vargard.
Now, I have no idea how long a quarter turn of a galaxy is, but it's probably a couple of thousand years. Or a couple of 100,000 years.
I see. Then, for all its sacrifices, immortality is undimmed.
The partial data indicates more biological entities are inside the tomb. Some warriors were roused in response, but they were destroyed.
So, we have an infestation of these vermin. The first of my duties is to see them exterminated. I shall attend to the security of my stasis crypt first, then drive them from the tomb.
And we go back to Mechanicus.
We are still missing Engine Seer Devos. It would be logical to rescue him if he yet lives.
Pre-loading regret. Set level at 3 out of 10. Apparently she doesn't really care that much about Divas.
And though an escape route is the highest priority, it would be an unforgivable waste to squander this opportunity to examine a Necron tomb.
For those of you who remember or have played Mechanicus 1, you probably also remember that Scaevola is, let's say, skirting the Emperor's will. Yeah.
I lost treasures beyond enumeration to the exterminators at Silver Tenebris. The wantonness, the waste. I will permit no such tragedy here.
Also, for those of you who played Mechanicus 1, the statement Scaevola makes here is very relevant for that game. And it does tell you what is the canon of the storyline in Mechanicus 1. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Less than useful. Should we come across Devos, all the better. But for now, I must determine the best route through this labyrinth myself.
Topographical scan indicates structure extends in all directions. Allied life signs nil. We can examine and watch for any intelligence or technology that can be acquired while exploring the tomb, or we can do the expedient route and ignore the information rich of the tomb in favor of moving as quickly as possible. Now, it would definitely be in Scaevola's character to do the examination, but since I'm not Scaevola, we're going to go with the expedient option here. Multiple undetermined energy signatures detected, rising in intensity. Approximate escape route calculated.
Something awakens.
So, since I did ignore, then we are going to have additional enemies spawning in the next skirmish. Verily is it written that the Omnissiah grants his blessing to those who come well equipped with explosives. True words.
The tomb is not merely defended by dregs and stragglers. It is awakening.
Suppressing fear response to maximize logical processing. Partials. So, Scaevola is actually afraid. Okay, we're gonna move Scaevola there. Then we're going to have a the Ranger. How do I... Here we go. So the Vanguard has a range of 6. Also applies irradiated. And can analyze to generate additional cognition and inflict exposed. The target suffers 1 more damage. Whereas the Ranger has a galvanic rifle, which has a range of 10. So the Rangers we can put in the back, and the Vanguards also put them in the back, but we'll put a Servitor there. These guys don't have much range, so the Servitor is mainly due to the Scarab Swarm, and Scaevola herself will not be very bothered by those Scarabs over there. Now, as you can see, 5 out of 5. That means I still have 2 Servitors left that I can place down if in one of the reinforcement phases, if one of these units die. I think we're gonna start out with Scaevola. No, we're not, because we need cognition points to actually make it properly. Gonna move this Ranger here up there and shoot these Scarabs, which give us a cognition point. Okay. I think we're going to move her. Let's see. So we don't want to move her 2 because this guy can actually. Gonna move her 1, which isn't enough, sadly. We can move her there. Shoot with this. And then we didn't have to use any cognition points, which is good. Enter. Where is... like, I don't think I can reach them with that guy. That means I'm gonna leave the Vanguard open because the Scarabs will go after the closest unit. So I don't know if this... I suspect that the Scarabs are next in line because these guys really have a low initiative. So I'm gonna move the Servitor there. And I was wrong. Oh well. But that means I can move the Vanguard here and analyze these Scarabs. Gives us another additional cognition point, and then we'll carbine them. Let's actually use the Litany here to see if we can one-shot them. There is a small chance that we do 5 damage. And we did! Perfect. Okay, another Vanguard. Move him there. We're out of range of these guys, but I'm gonna shoot that. This guy doesn't really need to go all that far. In there. Shoot this guy. I could use the Litany. I don't see the point. Yeah, they have 6 hit points, I thought. More Scarabs. Okay. Well, let's see, that guy move. Okay, so we know the Scarabs are fairly high up in the move order. So the next guy that gets to move is that guy. 2 to 3 damage. Yeah, Litany. which is almost assuredly means we kill it. Yeah, and then it went into reanimation. So that guy can move. He's next in the turn order as well. That takes a cognition point. I don't really care. So yeah, let's move Scavola. That means that we're going to be shot by these, though. That's not too ideal. Over there. I think we're going to use the macro stubber to shoot the wall. And then we are going to use the Xenorite data curse to weaken and immobilize this guy. And then shoot him with the Volkite blaster. Excellent. You analyze those. Then move down there and shoot. Yeah, I'm not worried about you shooting the servitor because the servitor actually gives me cognition points anyways, so get rid of those. Another cognition point, not a problem whatsoever. This guy, I think we'll move him there and shoot that one. Means they're both down. Okay, now we're getting to the more interesting part, because this guy, if I move him there, he's going to be shot. And I'd rather avoid damage to the vanguards and the rangers, so let's move him there. Can't shoot anything because everything is out of range. So. No, melee damage doesn't necessarily go through armor. They did 3 damage, so 2 damage to the armor and then 1 hit point damage. Did I move you? No, I did not. Kaboom. And then we're going to use the Xenorite Omnizion Axe. Kill those. And we're going to remove this thing from the map. Here we go. I can't... Yeah, I can shoot that one too, so... Perfect. There we go. Okay. So that means it's a new turn, apparently. So you can run up there and slap that guy. Easy peasy. You can go there. Let's use the litany here. Shoot that one. Is the servitor down? I'm not worried about that at all. Take that guy up there and get rid of that. Then litany, and that should basically be it for level. Boom. Tech Priest does not have hunches. I'm not sure about that when it comes to Scavola.
The structure ahead appears unstable. Topographical scan.
Structural void detected. Depth beyond the scanning limits and multiple fractures in surrounding material.
A ravine we must cross. Erosion or seismic activity has taken a toll on the tomb. Time is pitiless, even to the Necrons.
Asserting physical risk pending. Risk assessment, no idea %. An area of the tomb ahead appears damaged by the shifting of surrounding rock over the millennia. Be warned, the passageway is split by a deep rift and the ceiling is prone to collapse. We can go the direct route, just cross the rift and accept the risk, or we can go the avoidant route and skirt around the damaged area to avoid danger. We are going to go with the avoidant route. Structural scan complete. Surrounding area stable.
Moreover, this was a storage area for samples of an alloy I do not recognize. The Necrons in their ignorant slumber grant us a gift. It would be illogical not to accept it.
Tech acquisitor goal fulfillment paradigm active. No consequence.
Another gateway. This one far more elaborate. Could our path have taken us not to the outside, but to an inner chamber? The Omnisire commands that the knowledge beyond must be gained.
Back to having hunches, I'm kind of feeling that Scaevola is interpreting the scriptures of the Omnisire the way she desires here. Passive scan alert, new spheric scrape interrupt. Distress signal detected. Ident data processing. Ident confirmation. Engineer Davos.
Davos lives, but barely, it seems. Give me his life signs.
Critical. Musculoskeletal damage, blood loss, augmetic cascade failure.
What little flesh remains of Davos has proven weak indeed.
Consciousness, error, undefined. Resuscitation chance, calculating, 31%. Engineer Davos' injuries are potentially mortal. Attempting to save him is the course of action most endorsed by the tenets of the Creed Mechanicus. However, the chances of his survival are low. The effort expended may not be rewarded. We can attempt to repair him, restore the Engineer's vital signs and stabilize him, or we can forsake him and administer the Omnisire's mercy, placing pragmatism over compassion. Let's try to repair him.
Shock his central nervous system. A full bioelectric reset may stabilize his augmentations.
Medical protocol safeguards, a command override. Applying direct current stimulation. Advisory. Stand back. Cardiopulmonary activity, nil. Brain function, nil.
His injuries were beyond remedy. Unfortunate. This death represents a significant deficit in resources.
Get the trait focused, which is +1 maximum damage.
Enough delay. Open these doors. A not unexpected welcome.
Calculating combat protocols. Optimizing dismemberment pattern. Adrenaline production maximum. So we have played one, 2 warriors, warrior there and a warrior there. So 4 warriors and 2 played ones. There's also scarab holes here. I'm gonna put down a ranger there and a ranger there. Servitor and a servitor and a vanguard. Too happy with this. Honest. Yeah. So the ranger has the long distance rifle. So we'll move the ranger there and shoot this guy. Move this servitor up here in case the scarabs come. We can move this Guitari Ranger there, I think. I don't see the point in using the litany here. 2 damage, that is not enough, but okay. Vanguard can't really do much, so let's move the servitor. It's going to be shot. Move Scaevola then. To there. Boom. And then this one doesn't have enough range, but that's fine, I think. We can mobilize him, which means that he'll just die next turn. I think that's a good idea. Ah. Yeah, I should have moved the servitor actually. Still can't get in range. Yeah, stars appeared here. Not totally unexpected. Ah, I did a mistake there. I should not have moved her first. Nah. 6 damage, or 5 damage, that is decent. I would like to shoot this guy. Get rid of him. And he went down. This is burning. This servitor, we can actually move up here and flank this guy. Two to 3. Let's analyze these. Oh, I can't analyze the scarabs. Okay, interesting. Primarily what I want is the cognition point, so go. Let's just get rid of this. Ow. Okay, so there's no way I can actually get this guy up so that I can shoot at that guy, so let's just get rid of one of these. Would you stop that? Another scarab up there. Okay, so there's also scarab balls there then, okay. Get rid of that. Ah, that's a shame. Just one of them. Get rid of that. And I'm actually thinking that I'm gonna move well, actually not, that might not be a bad idea. Well, actually that was a horribly bad idea, but even Caledons makes mistakes. You go there. Then you shoot him. And you shoot him again. And you weaken those. And then turn. Move this guy over there. Oh yeah, the servitor is there. So it wasn't a bad idea to move the ranger. Another? Let's put out this vanguard. Let's move the servitor first. Them into the area zone of control. And then this guy can move there. Really? How about you? Are you too far away? That means he's going to die. Oh well. I don't think I can get... No, I can't. Okay, put this over there and shoot. And shoot. Over there. Oh well, such is life. Or, in this case, not life. Not life. Go away. Get rid of that guy. Just the scarabs there left now. Get as far away as possible and shoot them. I don't think there's much we can do with her. But litany, analyze, and shoot. And there we go.
A sarcophagus chamber. The heart of the tomb. Random fate generation has led us here. The Omnisire willed it.
Anticipation equals yes. Now, that was a very bad combat on my behalf. Losing 2 units, that is. When they're not servitors, it's some poor decision.
Nevershah's first glimpse of the invaders was of an individual who would prove to be an outlier in their number. Though Nevershah did not know it at the time, this Scatholma was from the human order of the Adeptus Mechanicus. It was learned in the ways of scientific theory and practice, albeit only by primitive human standards.
A strange and biological thing. Is this what has infested the galaxy in our absence? One would imagine evolution had produced something more robust.
Did you say arrogant? I have no idea what you're talking about.
So this is indeed a tomb, and you are the one interred. Evidently a Necron of some seniority. A rare specimen.
Archive Linguis, Necron Speculative, Extracting.
It understands us. Physically unimpressive, but advanced. You shall discover just how advanced we can be, Xenos. This primitive creature addresses me as if I were an outsider. Yet this is my domain. One that no intruder will be permitted to tread. Let alone a whelp from a species not fit to witness a Necron's majesty. tinkerer with ancient trinkets I do not understand. I have harvested technology from 100 Xenos races and delved into secrets even your once great civilization does not know.
These two are like the incarnation of arrogance.
We mastered the forces of this galaxy before you even stumbled blindly across your world's surface. What secrets can you know that are not trifles to the Necrons? It is only fitting they die with you.
Scaveola, not all data should be acquired. So, I haven't really read these before, but you always see your mission objectives here. So, Nefershah must survive, and we need to kill Scaveola. I'm gonna put Nefershah there. Point of putting her behind. Going to put down 2 flayed ones beside her. Going to put down 3 Necron warriors behind her. Deploy. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 servitors. There's 2 vanguards and Scaveola herself. Flayed one can run there. Good. The other flayed one can run there. Necron warrior can go here. Shoot this guy. Next Necron warrior can go here. Shoot the same guy. They don't do much damage when you don't have enough Dominion, do they? And also, I had this the wrong way around. You fill this up first, and for each pip you have, that is 1 domination level. Some of you may have already noticed that. Now that's fine. Move this guy there. I'm not too worried about him being shot. Kill that guy. And now Nefershah herself. I do not particularly want her to be shot, and she only has melee, so I'm going to leave her standing exactly where she are. Oh, the vanguards get to move after they've shot. We get some scarabs. Let's just make use of those. All of these are intact. But I want to use this guy and move into their zone of control. So now we have 2 Dominion. And then move this guy there. Shoot and hopefully kill this one. Thank you. Yeah, well, now we're doing 3 damage. So it's... we're doing more damage because we have more Dominion. This guy can shoot the Vanguard. 1 damage? That was pitiful. Bad move. Again. A little pitiful. Okay, now we're talking. Let's move Nefershah there. Let's do... Actually, we need to move her there. That's that guy down, and now Arise. Move her there. Make sure you're careful with how you aim her weapon, because she does AoE damage, so I could have killed my own flayed one there. This guy can do that. Oh, that's fine. Ooh, reinforcements, eh? Well, we get reinforcements too. That's a servitor. Let's get rid of that one. Hello. Prasha is down to 5 out of 9 hit points, and she's also weakened and immobilized, but I don't think that's going to be a big problem, to be honest, because Scaevola will now feel the full force of our Necron warriors. And then I'm going to use the self-destruct protocol. It's 2 Dominion. Bit annoying that she's immobilized. Can't do much about it. I'll move that guy there and beat this servitor. Now we're doing 4 damage. I can't get to Scaevola, so... But we get the first turn. Sure, let's deploy those. Now, I think we're going to say goodbye to Scaevola, to be honest. And then the final hit.
We are outmatched. Maniple, countermand self-preservation routines. Full principle defense protocols. Retaliation.
Survival is more important than acquisitions. Scanning. Exfiltration route selected.
The leader of the invaders used its underlings to surround Nevershah while it fled her sarcophagus chamber. Other guards swiftly dispatched these sacrificial minions, but not before the instigator of the intrusion had escaped her.
The architect of this outrage has fled. Moreover, this intrusion may not be isolated. There is no telling how many aliens are on Kivroth. I must go to my Pharaon. Sankotep must know.
There's a cutscene coming up, and I hope that you enjoy it, because I most thoroughly enjoyed it.
From the moment I first witnessed the interlopers, they disgusted me. Eons we slumbered, waiting to reclaim our galaxy, only for it to become infested with vermin that proliferated in our absence. Now, we awaken to retake what is ours. Wretched are now the nations of meat and metal, shackled to ignorance by your faith. Do you truly believe you can stop us? We, who have shattered our very gods and enslaved them to our will. The stars were young when our empire was ascendant. And when the last of them die, we alone will remain. For we are immortal.
Sadly, the music cuts off there, so even though it is like the most epic ever, yeah. Thanks for playing the demo of Warhammer 40k Mechanicus 2. The war for Hecateus 4 has only begun. Wishlist now in preparation for the arrival of the full epic saga told across 2 fully realized campaigns. And as you can see in the background here, you can pick whether you want to play as the Adeptus Mechanicus or the Necrons. Now, I will be covering this game further when the time comes, shall we say. And if you liked what you see, if this style game, if you liked Mechanicus 1, it is almost certain that you are going to enjoy Mechanicus 2. I would highly encourage you to go and wishlist the game. I will put in the description a link to the game and also a link to the demo if you want to test the demo yourself and see if you can do a better job than what I did, especially in that one level where I lost 2 units, which was mildly embarrassing to be perfectly honest. But on that note, I think I shall thank you all so very much for your time, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions and or comments, then do feel free to leave them in the comment section. Even if you don't have any questions, then I would also appreciate if you do leave a little emoji or something. I am returning to YouTube with an absolute certainty this time, because there are other games that are upcoming as well. Some of you might have an idea if you've been paying attention to game news. So keep an eye out. There will be more content, and I think some of you might be very excited about the content that is upcoming. For now, I shall bid you goodbye, and I will see you all in the next video that pops on the channel, which shouldn't be too far off, maybe a couple of weeks. Bye for now.